From the heartland of America, focused on God, family, and country, the mouthpiece of the Midwest. This is Dale Carter's America.
Welcome back to Dale Carter's America. We have a fun-filled show with all kinds of great stuff in it today. I am Dale Carter. He is Kurt Wheeler, and we appreciate you joining us every week in our constant quest for truth. I think we're coming up on 260 episodes. Is this 260?
I think this is 261.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. It's crazy.
Yep.
We've been at this for a while through a Democrat president and a Republican president. And you know what? We can still have the conversation regardless of who's sitting in the Oval Office. You people who think that everything breaks down because the orange man is bad, you're not following the podcast, because we call balls and strikes here. And the bottom line is we want America to do well. We want America to succeed. And I think it is succeeding. We're going to have some examples of that on the podcast today. Kurt's going to tell you all the ways you can take what you're consuming and share it with the world.
Yes, you can find us on Rumble or YouTube for the audio, the video version. Make sure you drop a like, drop a subscribe, drop a comment, share the link with your friends. You can find the audio-only version on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, and then follow us on Facebook as well and join in the conversation.
There are believers out there like Bob Watson, my Blue Springs State Farm agent. State Farm is the brand that you know. Bob Watson has been a State Farm rep longer than anybody else in the Kansas City metro area. He's been my guy for over 30 years, and I'll share him with you. All you got to do is call this number and get a rate quote, 816-229-7878. If you bundle your home and car insurance, you'll save even more. Auto, home, life, anything that's important enough for you to insure, Bob Watson is the guy to at least get a rate quote from, because he and his team will be there for you when you need the insurance, and that's when it's most important. Commercial insurance, too. Bob is licensed in both Kansas and Missouri, so if you are in either of those states, I know we get to a lot of the world here, but in Kansas and Missouri, Bob Watson is your guy. So before we start the episode, I was so moved and inspired by something that happened at the opening of the Obama Presidential Library that I thought perhaps, maybe for just this episode, we could start with Valerie Jarrett performing the land acknowledgement.
Exceptional. Thank you. We'd also like to take a moment to recognize the original inhabitants of the land upon which we are gathered today. We honor the Anishinaabe, the Council of Three Fires, the Ojibwe, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi nations.
There you go. By the way, I don't know if it matters, but I can't see I can't see her.
Oh, yep.
And I really wanted to see Valerie Jarrett.
Do you want to watch it again?
Sure, why not?
Thank you. We'd also like to take a moment to recognize the original inhabitants of the land upon which we are gathered today. We honor the Anishinaabe, the Council of Three Fires, the Ojibwe, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi nations.
How about that? She got all. I assume she got the pronunciations right. I mean, that's quite a list there. I do wonder what the original inhabitants would think of the hideous building that they put there. Have you seen this building?
Yeah.
It's awful, and they're charging money to get in to it as well. I don't know if all the presidential libraries do that.
I wonder how much it is.
I don't know.
Let's ask the hive mind.
Yeah, they do have a day of the week that is free to get in, but you have to have an ID to show that you're like a resident in order to get in. So they do ask for ID at some point. And they are not giving the land back, right? You would think that being the liberals that they are, as much as they care, instead of building that monstrosity on the property, they would just have a press conference and say, we've decided to give the land back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the admission is $30 for adults ages 12 plus, $23 for children ages 3 to 11. Children under 3 are free, and Illinois residents get discounted tickets to $26 for adults and $15 for children.
Wow, they took a whole $4 off.
Every Tuesday, Illinois residents get free admission.
Ah, that's why they need the ID, because they got to know you're from Illinois.
Right.
They don't want any people coming in from Indiana. It's bad enough you stole the Bears. They don't want you coming in and getting free admission into the Obama Presidential Library. I don't think I will ever be paying that money to get in there, so I guess I won't see the inside of it. I did get a lot of feedback on this picture, and honestly, it was just innocent on my part. Sometimes I'll scroll Facebook and I'll see something that makes me laugh, and I want to share it with our audience, and it really took off. And it started to make sense to me what they were going for with the look of the building when you put Oscar the Grouch on top of it.
Yep. And here's that.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of people didn't like that.
Yeah, that has, as of today, this moment, 93,000 views.
Wow. Okay.
That post.
Yeah. Some people laughed. I mean, the tag I put on was, okay, now I get it, with some laugh emojis after it. But there you go. Right. Two things about this whole event struck me as sad. The only living president wasn't there is the current president. Yeah. And honestly, if we're calling balls and strikes here, that's as much on Trump as the rest of them. I mean, remember, he didn't go to Biden's inaugural.
Right.
First president since John Adams not to go to his successor's inaugural. And you know what? I'll predict this. If a Democrat wins in 2028, he won't go to that inauguration.
Yeah. Did they came to his, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay. They all came to his.
Yeah.
Because that is the tradition of America. That's what binds us together through all these decades that gets us to 250 years, is there's a consistency. There's the peaceful transfer of power. The presidency is bigger than that, and it was good to see George W. Bush show up. Good to see he and Laura come to that. Because these are the kinds of things that we look at not as Democrats, not as Republicans, but we look at them as Americans. Those
not red America, not blue America.
Yeah.
It's the United States of America.
It's a pretty good Obama impersonation. The other thing that really saddened me was Joe Biden at the end. Did you see the video on this?
No.
Okay. He is clearly unwell. I mean, we can all admit that. His wife allowed him to walk around aimlessly at the conclusion of the event. He got to the podium and he was calling out for his granddaughter, who was not there. I mean, it's just really sad. We do have the video. We're going to go ahead and show it to you.
Yes, we do.
That's Obama playing the air guitar. He's leaving. Jill's right behind him. Where's Joe? Wait a minute. We're going to get to Joe. Joe's still out there. Got the aviators on.
There he is.
He's going over to the podium. Looking for his granddaughter.
Hey, Jack, is that you out there, Jack? Come on.
You gonna say, hey, looking for my granddaughter. Where's my granddaughter? I mean, you can't let the guy walk around aimlessly like that. If you're his wife, first of all, you put him in that position. You said he was going to run. You said, Jeff, you answered all my questions. Not nearly as good as Kurt does that. She put him in that position. You own this.
Yeah.
Grab his arm and take him off the stage.
Yeah. Yeah, I said it before and I'll say it again. She's in competition with Jada Pinkett Smith for the worst wife in America.
Yeah. All right. So that kind of wraps up the whole Obama thing. We have a lot to get to on the podcast today. I want to thank Clay Como Shooters for being involved with us. There was an event that came up in my adopted hometown of Blue Springs where... And it turned out it was an autistic person, 18-year-old autistic person, who broke into a house in Blue Springs and ended up being killed by the owner of that house. And I put that out on Facebook, and I tagged the Clay Como Shooters folks because these are the kinds of things that we're talking about. And as it came out that this was an autistic person, then people started going, oh, gosh, I don't know that was the right thing to do. But I saw the internal... between police officers from let's just say a source that I have, okay? Mm-hmm. And what happened was this autistic person got into a car, I guess it was the homeowner's car, started it, drove it into the garage, got out, got into the house, had a knife, was cutting something out of the couch, and as this person's coming up the steps, like you, young family, infant in the house and a smaller child and a wife. And as this person is coming up the steps. This guy put 5 shots into him.
Yeah. Yeah, you're getting blasted. I mean, if it's the situation the way that you describe it, yeah, you're getting blasted every time.
You don't have time to conduct an interview.
Yeah.
You know,
Wait. Are you autistic?
Yeah. He called 911, but, you know, you've got to make a decision. If this guy is coming toward you and you've got your family behind you, that's the decision that you make. And the folks at Clay Como Shooters are ready to step in there and help you, train you, just like they train law enforcement to get this done. I mean, I saw one of the TV stations had an FBI guy that they quoted, and they said, I don't know that we should be shooting autistic people in the front yard. That's not stand your ground. That's not what happened.
Right.
I mean, they're playing fast and loose with the facts on this thing. Even the guy's father understood. I mean, he's heartbroken. This is a terrible, terrible situation, but even the father understands what happens here. And I'm going to make an admission here on this podcast. I don't know that I've ever said this before, but 2 of my grandchildren are autistic. Mm-hmm. And my second son, Nick, is the father of those children. And he lives in mortal terror that they will get out in the middle of the night. Mm-hmm. That's what a parent with autistic children goes through. They're still very young. They're not 18 years old. I don't know what you do. There is no easy answer on this. But when any human being breaks into my house and is between my wife and me or my dogs or her kid or whatever, it's not going to be a good outcome for that person.
For sure.
So get trained. Find the weapon that will protect your family and get trained on it. And Clay Como Shooters will do that for you. 816-452-4867, 69 Highway in Clay Como. They are excellent folks at getting you trained. They train law enforcement. They are former law enforcement. If you're 65 or older or approaching 65, the company that you need to know is Medicare Simplified KC. Kirk Doris. Trust me, as somebody turning 63 in September, I am counting the days until Medicare is there for me. And Kirk is going to get that phone call from me because we're all different. We all have different economic situations. We all have different retirement plans. We have different family situations. Your situation is different. Which plan, which part, which supplement will you need? Kirk Doris has navigated these waters for decades, and he can help you with that. And you don't pay him, the insurance companies pay him. So make this phone call. Won't cost you a dime. 816-701-6661. They're at 3600 South Nolan Road in Independence. If you can't come to them, they'll go to you, and you'll find them on the web at MedicareSimplifiedKC.com. Kirk Doris. Good guy.
Tremendous people.
Yeah. So as we start the podcast today, it's in the wake of what happened in New York, where Mamdani, the mayor of New York, the socialist sweep is happening. There is a civil war happening in the Democrat Party right now, and it started with Mamdani. Then you got this woman in Seattle who's never had a job before. She gets elected mayor of Seattle. Minneapolis has a socialist mayor, and now the District of Columbia will have a socialist mayor. People who've never run anything, who think government is always the answer and the problem. We're going to get into their belief system here. It's going to boggle your mind. It boggled mine anyway. And then you've got Mamdani going 3 for 3 and getting socialists through the Democrat primary for the U.S. House. Safe blue seats. So they are going to win these elections. So there will be 3 more socialists in the House of Representatives. All right? Have you heard of this? The Democratic Socialists of America, they are an organized party. Mm-hmm. And they have their radical new platform, and they are saying it all out loud. I printed it off. Let's go through it here for just a second. Some of the highlights of the Democrat Socialist platform. The outright abolition of capitalism. They would replace that system with one where key industries like energy and transportation are placed under social ownership and democratic control. Sound like the old Soviet Union to you?
I mean, their website looks pretty Soviet. I'm looking at it right now. Look at this.
Oh, that's definitely red. Establishing a federal 4-day, 32-hour work week with no reduction in pay allowed, eliminating at-will employment. So I guess if you're a business owner, when you hire somebody, you can never cut their rate of pay, no matter what's going on in your business, and you can't fire them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds American. It legalizes strikes for federal workers. I guess if air traffic controllers want to walk off the job and planes start falling out of the sky, I guess that's okay too. How are they going to pay for everything? They're going to implement massive wealth taxes, significantly increasing corporate taxes, closing loopholes that benefit the ultra wealthy. Then there's their social programs, Medicare for all. This country is $40 trillion in debt. It's still spending more than it's taking in. I thought Donald Trump might curb some of that, but apparently that's not happening either. But they want to have Medicare for all, single payer, out of the U.S. government. Education, public education, higher education, entirely tuition free, covering room and board, canceling all outstanding student loan debt. So college is now free under them. Housing for all. Capping annual rent increases for large landlords, utilizing public investment to build multi-income social housing. That sounds like the Soviet Union.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Family care, providing expansive family leave, along with free universal child care and pre-K. Everything's free, and the rich are going to pay for it. The Civil Justice and Immigration Platform, defunding and demilitarizing police departments. So no police, ending cash bail, treating drug addiction purely as a health issue. Immigration, they would abolish ICE, of course, halt all deportations, and establish freedom of movement in our country with clear paths to citizenship. Come on in. Water's fine. How'd that work out under Biden? We're still dealing with that. But they would double down on all that. So the political reform, this is where it really gets fun. They would reform the U.S. Constitution by abolishing the Senate and the Electoral College. The only thing you'd have would be the House of Representatives, and the House would appoint the President and Supreme Court justices. What do you think? I mean, so far, where are you at?
Extend full voting rights to people with criminal convictions and non-citizens, and establish statehood for Washington, D.C.
Yeah. Foreign policy, they would basically gut the military, defund the Department of War, end all boycotts, sanctions, recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Palestine. Palestine? Is there a country called Palestine? Does it exist? Did it ever exist? So that's your socialist platform. That's what these people are running on. That's why Hakeem Jeffries, he endorsed the three, let's call them normal Democrats running against these socialists, and he was over 3. So when these guys get to D.C., if the Democrats get the majority, he's going to have to corral all that. Good luck to him.
Video?
Is there a video?
Yes, there is. Him taking a question.
No, we're not there yet.
Okay, sorry.
We're not there yet, because I wanted to throw this out there because it lives in my own house with little Lord Fauntleroy. Okay, and this started with my wife Jennifer buying America 250 T-shirts, right? And she gave him one, and he's like, "No, I'm not wearing that. I can't be proud of my country because Donald Trump is president." Mm-hmm. This is a 17-year-old who has no job, who's going into his senior year in high school, who wears headphones all day listening to God knows what. I guess now we know, probably that whole thing that I just went through there. Yeah. So I got home from wherever I was, and she's like, "Well, you need to hear what your stepson has to say." And normally I just let stuff bounce off me. But it really irritated me because, again, we don't care who's in the Oval Office with respect to how we feel about the country. At least I don't. Mm-hmm. I love this country. I've loved this country through every president we've had, every political schism that we've had in this country. It all comes back to me that I love my country. And I don't get him. I don't understand that. And I started to make a joke, and I said, "Well, you Democrats, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "Well, I hate the Democrat Party." These socialists hate the Democrat Party. They hate the Republicans, but they hate the Democrats too.
Yep.
And he's going on and on about how we have more houses out there. We need to be putting people in houses. And I'm asking him the same things I say on the podcast. How are we going to pay for that? The saint of that whole movement is Bernie Sanders. And as we've talked about on the podcast, Bernie doesn't think we spend enough money. We're spending $7.5 trillion a year, taking in 5. He thinks we should spend 10. And I ask him, where's the money going to come from? Well, I don't know. And then it devolved from there. I'm like, get a job. Just get out of my house. Go get a job. Go. I mean, what do you say to a kid? I don't even know.
Well, at the point that you're having that argument, I mean, the indoctrination has already taken place. So, I mean, he's in public school, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, when does the rubber hit the road? And I'm trying to think about my own experience on this because my parents were working class Democrats, union. And at some point, I became that person who didn't want people telling me what to do. And I still have that stripe. I rail against my own bosses. It's like, you're telling me what to do? I know you own the radio station, but it's mine. I've been here 31 years.
Right.
I don't like people telling me what to do. And the first presidential vote that I ever cast was for Ronald Reagan. And that's been me. I've been less government, more personal responsibility. I've been that as long as I could remember. But this goes beyond that. This is not, Democrats and social policies versus Republican social policies. Spend a little more, spend a little less. This would be a complete restructuring of this country. You wouldn't recognize it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just childish at the end of the day. I clicked the wrong button there.
It is childish.
It's entitlement and victimization, and it's indoctrination from, in this case, and in a large majority of cases, the public school system. And I think it's a lesson to parents with young kids to be very wary about that, because you're essentially outsourcing your, like, indoctrination is going to happen. Like, somebody is going to instill values in your kid. It's either going to be you, or it's going to be the teacher or the state or the system. So who's going to do it, And I think at a certain point, it's really sad to see, because it's like, like I said, at that point, kind of the damage has already been done. You know what I mean? Like, now you're having to fight against to try and claw back some of that. It's very difficult. So,
well, he constantly is playing video games in the second floor loft in my house. So I cut power to that room. He's like, "Oh, what happened?" I'm like, "Well, we're trying a socialist experiment. I'm trying everything I can that I know how to do." Short of beating him, and I'm not going to beat him. I mean, he's 7.
I mean, that just might make him more resentful and
guess
go into it even further.
I gotta tell you, I was feeling really bad about this, and then I heard a commentator, and it made me feel a little bit better about it, because this right now, this socialist thing is kind of in the blue cities. New York has a big slice of it. Mm-hmm. And, Mamdani is probably going to try and raise taxes on all these people who live in New York. And what COVID has taught all of us is you don't need to be in New York to conduct your business. Mm-hmm. You can conduct your business from Texas or Florida or Tennessee. And the money is moving out. And we have a census coming up in 2030. In 2030, you may well find that New York loses congressional seats, mm-hmm. which equals electoral votes, and they're going to have a real problem down the road here, because they're going to drive these people out. It's another reason they want to eliminate the Electoral College. California could face the same thing, because they want to have high taxes, high regulations. And, company owners are like, if you're coming for me, I'm going to go someplace that's a little more friendly. Mm-hmm. Hello, Ron DeSantis. They're going to set up shop in Florida, Texas, Tennessee, places like that. It's one of the reasons that they want to eliminate the income tax in Missouri, which is something we're going to be talking about in a couple of weeks with Andy Bacher, who's a really smart guy, on these votes we're going to have to make in the primary election that are coming up. So this whole thing could be a problem for the Democrat Party. I don't know if you saw this or not, but Republicans left like flowers outside of Hakeem Jeffries' office. It's like, sorry, bud. I know you backed all these regular, normal Democrats, but this is what's coming to town that you're going to have to deal with. Who are they and what do they stand for? Hakeem wants to be the next Speaker of the House, and this is where the video goes because he can't even answer this simple question.
Let's consider their governing agenda. Can you provide an update on what a potential H.R. 1 would look like? And what personally are your priorities to include in the first bill of a Democratic majority?
We're in the midst of having that conversation right now as a caucus, and we look forward to leaning in to those discussions. And it's going to be maximum engagement as it relates to ensuring that every part of the caucus has input on the governing agenda. But it is going to focus on affordability.
No, it's not. I mean, we've talked about this before. You know what H.R. 1 is going to be if the Democrats take over.
Impeach Trump.
And they've already got it drawn up. Yeah. Just fill in the blank for what?
Right.
Or maybe they can do multiple impeachments. Maybe it'll be H.R. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's what they're going to do. And who knows? Maybe Kamala runs again. She was on with Don Lemon. Defining hope.
Remember him? Remember Don Lemon? That's a throwback.
Yeah. She's defining hope.
I really, truly believe this. We each have light inside of us. And we need to know that that is what inspires our hope as much as anything external to ourselves. And when we feel that and not allow an election or an individual to dampen that light, and instead let that light kind of carry us, in particular through moments of darkness, that we not only act on that hope, but we inspire that hope in each other. And in particular at this moment, it is so important that we not only have hope, but that we understand that that should be a verb. I really...
Oh, goodness.
Have you ever used hope as a verb? How would you use it as a verb?
Wait, but isn't it a verb? I hope that you're doing well.
I don't know that that's a verb. We're going to have to get like a grammar lesson on
verb
this.
is an action word.
Right.
Yes,
right.
So I'm hoping that you're doing well. That's an action. Like she says that like that's some kind of revelation. Like that's the primary use for the word.
Okay. I was thinking more like, if you don't do what I tell you to, I'm going to hope you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all a bunch of like
word salad.
Cat lady yoga pant gobbledygook nonsense.
Well, word salad is kind of what you get on the other side. That and Hakeem Jeffries and his hand motions like this.
Yeah. Well, he's fitting into his role as a politician very well. He's developing, he's evolving into his next stage of his career because he's doing the hand motions now. He's got the hand motions down, and then he's got the immediate deflection. Instead of saying, well, we don't know yet. We're still working on it. It's going to be collaborative effort and everyone's going to have their say and, blah, blah, blah. So he's getting pretty good at that.
Well, I mean, you need to have a platform going into an election. I mean, and right now their platform is Trump sucks. Mm-hmm. That's all they've got. I'm running against a Democrat, so I know what this is like. I know what the word salad is like. He keeps talking about issues outside of what he could ever do on the county legislature. We talked about it. Whether ICE agents can mask themselves or not. That's not a county issue. Yet he keeps talking about stuff like that. And then he makes veiled references that I'm not being clear on what I'm running on. Let me be clear. Assessments, accountability, transparency, and audit of all spending. I want to put a hold on any new spending. I want to give the sheriff's department all the tools they need. I want to focus on county roads, specifically the unincorporated parts of the county. And lastly, I will follow the law. There's no word salad in that. That's all specific, right?
Sounds pretty specific.
Hold me to it. I'm glad to do it. And, if you find out who my Democrat opponent is, I'm not going to give him a whole lot of publicity. But you could read his posts, and they're all, I care about people and blah, 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 blah. And there's nothing specific to it at all. And when he does get specific, it's things that he has absolutely no control over. We have a candidate forum coming up with the League of Women Voters. I was on the fence about whether to do that or not. because they do lean very hard to the left. And some of my friends were like, they'll take whatever you say and they'll repackage it and they'll make you say things you didn't say.
Yep. Women, am I right?
So
I said it, not Dale.
Yeah,
I said it, not
I'm going to do it, and we'll see how it goes because I'm not shy about what I believe, and I'm not trying to hide from this guy. So we'll go. I don't know if he's going to do it or not, but I am definitely going to do it. In fact, I got to tell you about Funhouse Pizza. It's Funhouse Pizza time. Always happens when we do this thing right around lunchtime. I get hungry, I get a little growl in my stomach, and I start thinking about Jim Dingman's Funhouse Pizza, 50 Highway in Lee Summit, 7 Highway in Blue Springs. Eat your heart out, Jim, because I got to hang with Ella Langley last Friday night. Got my picture taken with her. She's a little bitty thing, right? She's beautiful.
Is Jim a fan or something?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? He's like, hey, did you get a signature for me? And I'm like, no, but I haven't washed my Ella Fella t-shirt yet, and I'll let you sniff it if you want.
Oh, boy.
What do you think? Funhouse Pizza, 50 Highway Lee Summit, 7 Highway in Blue Springs. The pizza's great. The beverages are cold. Jim piles those toppings really high. And if you got like a team meeting coming up, birthday party, anniversary party, fun is in the name for a reason because they got the video games. They got pinball games. If you remember pinball, they got rides for the little kids in an atmosphere that you're going to love. Funhouse Pizza, again, 50 Highway in Lee Summit, 7 Highway in Blue Springs. Check it out. Michael Schroer is my real estate expert. He's been to my house. We've been huddling about what to do about my house. If you've got a real estate issue in your future, you need to talk to Michael Schroer. He's with RE/MAX Elite in Lee Summit. The office number is 816-373-8400. 816-520-9342. That's his cell. Makes kind of a chirping noise. I know that because he was in my house looking at it. Somebody was calling him, and it was like, chirp, chirp, chirp. It's my cell phone. Michael Schroer 56 at gmail.com. That's Michael, then Schroer is spelled SCHROER, the number 56 at gmail.com. You know, the House and Senate, believe it or not, once in a while, they can do something in a bipartisan nature that makes all the sense in the world. And they passed an affordable housing bill at this point that's aimed at pulling regulations out and making these companies that are going around buying up homes corporately and then leasing them out, maybe making it a little harder for them and making it easier for you and less expensive for you to get into your first-time home. And I know Michael would support that. Right now, it's in limbo. Did you hear about that? So it passes overwhelmingly, and Trump goes, you know what? I'm not signing any new bills until you pass the Save America Act. Voter ID, which is also very popular, and it's been held up. So he's like, I'm not signing any bills. So constitutionally, in case you don't know, and part of this podcast is the teaching portion of it, if the president does nothing with that bill, in 10 days it becomes law. If the Senate is still in, if Congress is still in session, and they've had a workaround on recess appointments, they always stay open. Even if nobody's there, they're all on vacation, they stay open with like one person. Right. They've gotten around the recess appointment. So they're going to be open. So it will pass in 10 days without the president's signature on it. If Congress were to recess, there's a thing called a pocket veto where if he knows that's coming, he basically sticks it in his pocket. And if they recess within the 10 days, then it goes away. He can't veto it because, I mean, it passed overwhelmingly in the House and Senate. So it's veto proof. We'll see what happens with that. But the president playing hardball with that particular legislation. And I know Michael wants that one to pass. I want it to pass. I want to see some things get done here. And I don't know. Maybe they'll heed his warning on that. To be determined. So the World Cup is continuing. I know as we record the podcast today, there's like an orange parade. Orange is the color of the Netherlands. And when I left Westport, there were a lot of people in orange T-shirts around there. It's been better than I expected. Not what was sold. I don't think you're going to find 600,000 people coming to Kansas City. That's how it was sold to us. But so many stories from the visitors from overseas. They can't believe how great this country is. Have you picked up on that?
I've been hearing some stories, yeah.
That's the narrative. They were over in their countries around the world, and they were watching left-leaning media talking about how Donald Trump's a fascist, and we're this fascist state now, and all that. And then they get here, and it's not like that at all. And they're speaking out. We have several videos here. We'll roll the first one.
We owe America a huge apology because America is nothing like what the media tells us. Everyone is so friendly, everyone is so accommodating, and I've honestly had the best time. I fly home Sunday, and the English have a song where we say, please don't take me home, I just don't want to go to work. Let me stay here and drink all your beer. And I've never resonated with that song more than in America for this World Cup. I wish I could stay and finish the tournament watching England. So if anyone is out there that can help me make this happen, then please let me know. I want nothing more than to stay in the USA, finish the World Cup, and meet more fantastic Americans.
Yeah, and people are having fun coming over here too. I pulled this video. These are the Vikings in Times Square. It's something I don't know what. I guess they're rowing, right?
Yeah.
But that looks kind of cool, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's about all you need of that. I mean, it gets repetitive. And then you had the Scots singing our national anthem.
All right.
They might be drinking.
Might have something to do with it. And they're finding a lot of things in America that are just blowing them away that we take for, we take for granted. So I'm going to let Mark Robinson bring this whole segment home.
God, guys, it's Target. We're gonna go into Target.
This is one thing.
Yeah, welcome to America. You know, I used to be little like you.
Soccer fans from around the world are finding out something that conservatives here say all the time. That America is actually a great place. Imagine that. Many visitors here for the World Cup tournament are using social media to express their sincere gratitude for the warm hospitality shown to them by Americans. Some of the posts are very funny, and some are quite poignant, and some are even political, pointing out that America is not at all the racist dictatorship made out in the mainstream media. But a great deal of the excitement for these visitors is over the food. Video after video is posted of foreigners trying and loving dishes like biscuits and gravy, barbecue ribs, pulled pork, brisket, fried chicken, and cheese grits. I guess they now know why Americans are so darn heavy, right? Our visitors are also marveling at the availability of goods. One Brit was amazed that he could buy a rifle and a flat-screen TV in the same store. You know, that was probably Walmart. All of this goes to show a simple fact. America, even with all of her warts and problems, is an absolutely outstanding place to live. In fact, in this old conservative's humble opinion, it's the best in the world. Welcome to our nation, folks. Enjoy your stay.
Yep, and then leave. Right? Enjoy your stay and then leave. Now, to put a damper on all of this, I don't know if you saw this or not, but Trump is going to be at the final game. He is going to present the World Cup to the winner. So the TDS crowd now officially hates soccer and the World Cup.
There you go.
Yeah. So there you go. There's Donald Trump. Yeah. So I don't know. They probably will, because it just seems like we've seen this experience. It's like anything Trump is for, all of a sudden they all hate it.
Yep. That's how it goes. Yeah. That's how it goes.
All right. Max Motors. MaxMotors.com. Mark Muller, the owner and operator, a dear friend of mine. He's got the best deals going in the Kansas City area because he beats the big city dealerships. He's in places like Richmond and Clinton and Butler and Nevada. and he's selling all of the American-made brands that you know and love. Ford, the F-150 built right in Kansas City, Chrysler, Chevy, GMC. He's got them all. He's the Amazon of car dealers. Prime days are going on right now. I'm sure the truck has stopped at my house at least 4 times today because that's how my wife rolls. The Amazon of car dealers will bring the car to you. So go to maxmotors.com. Find that American-made car that you just would love to have. They'll bring it to your house, and they'll do the deal at your house. It's the easiest place to buy your next car. Small-town American values, God, family, and country. And if you don't buy from Max, which I hope you do, Mark encourages you to buy American and then take care of that vehicle. Christian Brothers Automotive. They are individually owned and operated. My friend Tim Porter, he owns the one in Independence. It's on 40 Highway, just to the east of 470 and 40 Highway there, right in the middle where the lanes split off. He's employed 2 of my kids, which I thank him for that, but he also is taking care of my cars. I'm the only male carter in my family who knows nothing about cars other than what color it is and where to put the gas in it. These guys hold my hand through every step. I get the oil changed on a schedule, tires rotated. I do all of the maintenance because I want to keep that vehicle as long as I can. And they'll do the exact same thing for you. Even if you know a lot about cars, you know you got to find somebody that you trust. It's not just your car, it's her car. And she's taking your kids everywhere. So let's make sure that it's always going to work when she's out on the interstates, all right? BMW, Audi, Volkswagen, Volvo, GM, Chrysler, Ram, Jeep, Honda, Acura, Ford, Lincoln, Mercury. I think I've Lexus, Nissan, Infiniti, BMW. They're all in there, including hybrid and electric certification. And whatever repairs Tim Porter and Christian Brothers do, you get a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty, whichever benefits you the most. So call and make the appointment, 816-795-6811. And again, the closest location to you can probably find online at christianbrothersauto.com. Get that car serviced. Take care of you. You take care of it, it's going to take care of you. We've had a series that we've started that we're going to continue in the build-up to the August primary, and then certainly when we get to the general, and that's hearing the views of people really from both sides of the aisle. We've had Democrats on here. Phil Laboda is going to be on again before you know it. But today we bring on Scott Qualls, and Scott is running in District 3 in Independence, the bigger part of Independence, and we're glad to have him here on the podcast. So Scott is running to be on the Jackson County Legislature, just like I am, and if he wins, we'll be serving together if I win. I mean, I kind of look forward to that. He would be representing the 3rd District, which represents Independence, Sugar Creek, a slice of eastern Kansas City, I think.
Lost you. Are you still there?
Oh, we lost him. He's frozen.
That's a connection thing.
You there?
Yeah.
Yep, we got you. Is that on his end?
Yeah.
Kurt says that's on your end.
Are you connected to Wi-Fi?
Are you on Wi-Fi?
No, I think it's a direct connection to our network here at work. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but
is it working now?
It's working now.
Don't kick anything. You want me to try again?
Yeah.
All right, take 2 on this. So Scott is running to be on the Jackson County Legislature representing the 3rd District. That's Independence, Sugar Creek, slice of eastern Kansas City. I think that's pretty much your border as I look at the map. Those maps are a little misleading, but does that pretty much sum it up?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a little bit of Lee Summit, just north of Lakewood there.
Okay, cool. So Scott will face Tony Miller, who was on last week's podcast for the Republican nomination coming up in the August primary, and that's going to be on August 4th. And I guess absentee voting with an excuse has already started, right?
It's already started just a couple of days ago, yeah.
Crazy.
And then no excuse voting starts July 21st.
So it's not election day anymore, it's election season. Yes. So I know that you were out there running really hard. I follow you on Facebook and all that. Let's talk about your background, Scott, and why you wanted to run for this position.
Well, I was born and raised in Independence, grew up there, and I went to Crispin High School and raised my 3 kids there. I live there now. And my background is in construction. Now I work as the facility coordinator at City Union Mission for the Women's Center here.
Okay.
And we do homeless shelter. And I've been involved with the Republican committee for the past few years. After I had my first son, I kind of started paying attention a little bit more as far as what goes on with the political world, and thought I might need to get involved a little bit. So I've been on the committee now for about 4 years, and just tried to do what I can to help and to make things better. And so I don't really have a political background. I'm kind of an outsider in that way. My background is in construction, like I said, but yeah, when the chairman of the committee came to me and asked if I wanted to run, and so that was kind of a surprise to me, and had to take a couple of weeks to pray about it, and my friends prayed for me, and decided that I should go and do it. So
yeah. You know, for me, it was the tax assessment issue and a couple of other things. You know, when they put the Andrew Jackson statues back on the ballot again, you know, my first instinct was, let's take Eastern Jackson County and make our own county. And then it occurred to me that it might be better to at least try to work from the inside to get that done. Was there that one issue that tripped your trigger, or is it just the totality of it all?
Yeah, it's the property taxes for sure. As far as that's what made it really visible, you know, kind of what's been going on in the county, and the unfairness, the way that the residents have been treated. There are a lot of people that just feel like they're not being represented at all anymore, up and down, you know, in the government in lots of areas. But the property tax problems really made that clear with the county, and kind of the unwillingness to make it right, even after it was very clear that they had collected, or they had done the assessments illegally, and that money was collected illegally. The courts have said that, and they're still fighting it. You know, they're still not making it right. So I know people that their lives have really been kind of turned upside down by it. People have moved because of the problems, and people had to get second mortgages or put the taxes on their credit card. And, you know, that's just not right, that we should have to live that way just because the government's not responding in the way that they should.
100% on that. So let's go into a fantasy world where you and I are both there. I'm representing District 5, you're representing District 3. What are we going to do? I mean, how are we going to take Jackson County into the future?
Right. Well, for one thing, I would like to get those taxes paid back sooner rather than later. I know that Phil Lavoda has a plan to pay them back by doing tax credits. He calls them tax credits. I don't see it that way. I don't think it can be a tax credit if it's money that's owed to us already. I look at it just as refunds of the money, but there's no guarantee that that's going to happen even over the next 3 years, especially since Lavoda's not going to be back in office.
Exactly.
So I know that the legislature now has some ideas about, and they're going to be voting next week to codify that, to pass an ordinance that would say that, yes, we're going to do these tax credits, but you know, it's always still up in the air if that is going to happen or not. So I would like to see it paid back as soon as possible, and I know that there's an idea of borrowing the money and paying it back, which is, like I said, people I know who own houses have had to do that. So I don't see why the county couldn't borrow the money, and then the county can deal with paying back what they had to borrow. Then the whole issue with the schools can be separate from that. Whether the schools would get to lose out on some of the taxes that they're worried about. Independence and Fort Osage have started a lawsuit against the county.
Right.
They're saying that no, you can't give these tax credits. So we don't know how that's all going to play out. And then there is the class action lawsuit that's going through now.
Right.
From what I understand, it's supposed to be decided by the end of the year. So maybe that'll put some finality on things, and we'll figure out how it's going to happen.
Well, one thing I know for sure is you and I didn't make this mess. We're going to go in there and try and fix it to the best of our ability. And the county's biggest power that they have over we the citizens is the assessment issue. And then, as you know, it goes downstream to all the other taxing entities, and the school districts are the primary beneficiary of property tax revenue, followed quickly by the fire districts, and then on down from there. I don't know about where you live, but I think there's 10 taxing entities that get a slice of what the county determines my house is worth.
Yeah, so that's another thing that needs to be looked at as the assessment department. And I would like to sever ties with Tyler Technology, who been in charge of that for the past 6 years or so. They were in charge of things in 2023 when all the assessments went wrong, and they were voted in by the legislature at that time. That whole system was set up by the legislature in 2022. And we're still dealing with the problems that have come with that. And so that's something else that needs to be changed. And the county executive they have some authority, more authority over the assessment department itself as far as hiring people that need to be hired. But I would like to pursue getting rid of Tyler Technologies. That would be a big thing.
Yeah.
Also, got the elected assessor that's going to be happening, and that'll be on the ballot in August as well, to make an elected assessor in Jackson County. That's a statewide amendment that would happen, and so I'm in favor of that. Right, as of now, we will get an elected assessor next year, but I don't think it's a permanent thing. But this amendment would make it permanent.
Yeah,
I think Amendment 2.
But we're going to talk about all the amendments that are also attached, which is a reason why you should vote. I mean, if you live in District 3 and you're a Republican, you need to make a decision here about Scott or Tony. But throughout the county, these amendments are definitely a reason to vote during that the primary election, right?
Yeah, some very important amendments or vote.
Do you want to talk about any of that and where you stand on the rest of the amendments, or you want to move on?
Well, I'd rather talk more about the county. And
okay.
What needs to be done.
Well, let's talk about let's go.
I would like to see, as far as elected officials, I would like to see an elected auditor in Jackson County. We have an auditor now, but they are appointed by the executive. So I would like to see an auditor that answers to the voters instead of answering to the executive.
To me, there's a structural imbalance in the county government where the executive has a lot of power. And maybe we need to do some sort of a review on that. And I know there are obstacles there where the executive appoints all of the members of the Charter Review Commission, which in itself is a problem. And so maybe we could get some reform going that way so there are more checks and balances. It didn't really rear its ugly head when you had a guy like Mike Sanders. It's always been a Democrat, but Mike Sanders was a guy that I got along with. I don't know how you felt about him. And then you got Frank White in there. And all of a sudden, Frank White became just intractable. And it's like he set up like these walls between him and the legislature. And then the state tax commission told him he had to do something. He said, screw that. I'm not going to do that either. So when you get a bad executive, which I would say Frank White was, that's when that imbalance rears its ugly head.
Yeah. And there are other ways to address the charter. I believe that the legislature can do that more directly, if I remember right. I believe that if you put it to a vote of the people, you can do it that way. I believe there's other ways to do that, but yeah, the power of the executive is something that a lot of people have recognized that could be toned back, and I know that our candidate running for executive has talked about trying to do that himself.
He has. Yep. Alan Rolfing. We're going to have him on the podcast here before you know it as well. Manny Abarca is also running for the executive. Manny's been a guest on this program before. He and I don't agree on a lot, but we can sit down and have a conversation. But I got to tell you, I was at a town hall meeting where he got up and spoke, and he said, "This is the time in our county when we need to dream big." And that scares me. I cringe when I hear a politician say that, because I hear we need to spend money, have more programs and all that. I don't want to put words in your mouth or lead you, but where I'm coming from is this is a time to pull back. Let's look at all of the spending under a microscope, see where all this money is going. I don't think it's the time to just willy-nilly throw out a whole bunch of new programs.
No, I think exactly the opposite, that we need, like you said, we need to turn in a different direction and look at where every dollar is going. People are tired of government just throwing their money around like they think it's just some kind of play money, making bets on developments. That's the way I look at it when they give all these tax breaks and they kind of hope that everything will go the way that they want it to go.
Yeah.
It's never guaranteed. So, yeah, I'm a conservative. I want less government. I want the government to do the basics that everybody wants, as far as taking care of roads, and the fire department, and jails, good courts, and support the sheriff and all of those. You got the health department that we take care of, but just the basics is what people are looking for. That's what I hear people wanting.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you next. I mean, you're out there obviously knocking on doors. What are the voters telling you?
Yeah. Well, basically that, like what I talked about earlier with where so many people have lost trust in their representatives. There are a lot of people that kind of have an attitude that voting won't even make a difference. You see that a lot, and we've got if you look at averages, about a 24% of registered voters turn out to vote, and even the best elections, it's only 60 or 70, I think. But that's only registered voters. That's not even everyone who's eligible to vote. So it's more like 10% of people that are eligible to vote are willing to go out and vote, because a lot of people just feel like they're not being listened to. That doesn't matter who they vote for. So I hear that kind of attitude, and I hear the concerns about, of course, property taxes and spending money on things that aren't really what people want or need. Paying to build a stadium for billionaires. People don't want that anymore. The time for that's over, and that's where I see it's time for Jackson County to change in that direction and do a better job at just taking care of the basics and really getting business done and keeping the streets safe, having a good jail. They built this brand new jail. They spent just tons of money on it, and it's too small. They didn't do it right because they're worrying about doing, I don't know what Manny was talking about doing, his big ideas that he wants to do. And like you, he's a nice guy, and I've dealt with him, and I can deal with him as far as getting things done, but I have a very different point of view about what we need to do.
You and I do both. I think we share that view. The difference is I'm running for a seat that's held by a Republican in name anyway. District 3, we could flip that, and at least you'd stay awake for the meetings, right?
Yeah. We know the person there now has a reputation of taking snoozes.
Yeah.
I got a phone call. Let me turn that off. But yeah, and I believe that Independence is a district. The district is mostly Independence, and so that area is ready to respond to Republican values. It's a working class area, but they have very sensible ideas as common sense people. That I'm a working class guy, and these are people that I can relate to, and I know that they believe the same kind of things that we believe. They have these sensible ideas, and they don't want all the nonsense. So I think that Independence is ready to elect a Republican to that seat for sure, and I think it's going to happen. So.
All right, Scott Qualls is going to be on the ballot. That is August 4th. He'll face Tony Miller for the Republican nomination. Who's the Democrat? Do we know?
Dennis Rowland is running for that. Yeah. So I haven't really heard much of anything from the Democrats over there. So, yeah.
All right. Well, let's flip that seat, and we wish you the best of luck. We'll be following your campaign, and of course, we'll see what happens on August 4th.
Good to be here with you. Thank you.
Scott, thank you so much for spending the time with us. So again, more candidates for office coming up, sharing their views so that when you go vote, and you should vote, at least you're going to be a little bit more informed about what those people believe. So what I believe about my roof is that it's going to last for the entire rest of the time that I own my house. And why is that? Because it's roofed by Royal. Austin Watterson and his family, they're in the roofing business, and they'll make sure that your structure has a decent roof on it. I mean, that's the biggest investment that you have. You really need to make sure that you've got the best roof on it. And with Roofed by Royal Roofing and Solar, they now have Tamco Hail Guard, which is beyond Class 4. And we had a very active spring in the Kansas City metro area. A lot of hailstorms went through. Let Austin and his team get on your roof, and let's get a condition report. You don't know what you have until you get somebody on that roof to look at it. And the days of somebody going door to door saying, hey, I can get you a free roof, wink, 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 that's long gone. Now you've got roofers like Austin who work with insurance companies to make sure you've got the right roof on that house. And the right roof on the house, and again, you go Tamco Hail Guard, that insurance guy is going to love you because we're not going to go through this whole, we got to put a whole new roof on it because you got some hail damage. It's going to take care of you and keep your family safe. 816-540-7057, roofedbyroyal.com. It starts with the roof inspection. Get Austin and his team up on your roof, and let's find out what the status is, and we'll go from there. And then your insurance guy, like Bob Watson, is going to love you for doing that because he's bundled your home and car insurance to save you even more. Bob Watson's been a State Farm agent for over 50 years. Out of his office at 7th and Main in Blue Springs, get that rate quote today. He's my guy, and he's taken care of my family for over 30 years. He'll do the same for you. 816-229-7878, auto, home, life, commercial insurance, those pontoon boats out on the lakes, Bob insures those too. Licensed in Missouri and Kansas, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. So we leave you with this. A news anchor fed up with how he was forced to report the news these days, epically quit live on the air.
Well, I'll try to get through this. Well, before we go this morning, I have an announcement. Today is my last day here at KWQC TV6. I have chosen to step away from the news industry. Before I say goodbye, I just want to say I hope every one of you that's allowed me to be a part of your mornings know just how important that I have taken this job. How much it means to me that you've trusted
oh boy.
You've trusted me these past few years to bring you the news in the morning. I promise you I've given you everything I have. I've never tried to be perfect or what many think a newsman is supposed to be, but I have always done my best to be transparent, bring you the facts, and I've always been myself. I've loved being able to provide a public service to this place we all call home, the Quad Cities. When it comes to this job, all I've ever wanted to do is report on the issues that really matter. I've always believed that we, as a local news station, owe you, the viewers, the best that we can do, because without you, none of us would be able to do this job. I also believe that we, as a local news station, have to be more than trends or sanitized news because it makes people feel uncomfortable. That's why the facts matter, and that's why we do what we do here. We have to take people out of their bubbles and comfort zones and make them think about the world we all live in. And this is a bittersweet goodbye. Yes, I'm looking forward to my next chapter of life. in life, but it's not easy to say goodbye. The hardest part of this job for me is the realization that I won't be working with Jenna anymore, because she isn't just the greatest co-anchor on the news desk, but she is the greatest co-anchor in life as well. If you don't have Jenna in your life, I suggest you find one, because she makes dreams come true in every way another human can. And to the great and talented people here at TV6, like Kevin Phelps, Michael Ortiz, Ryan, our morning.
You get the idea.
Wait, I thought that was supposed to be epic and awesome. That was...
Well, epic would have been if he'd pulled a Ron Burgundy, which is the clip that I have for the exit.
Okay, here we go.
From the entire Channel 4 News team, I'm Veronica Corningstone.
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
That would have been epic. That would have been epic, right?
Yeah.
All right. Should we have done a language warning before we played that?
I think they understand.
They get it. All
they
right.
know by now. They should.
Until next week, I'm not going out like Ron Burgundy. This is Dale Carter for Dale Carter's America. We're back next week with another episode. Thanks for watching.
The views expressed on Dale Carter's America are Dale's and Kurt Wheeler's. They do not necessarily reflect the views of KFKF or Steel City Media. Comments can be sent to dalecartersamerica@gmail.com. Check back for weekly episodes. Subscribe, spread the word, and give us a 5-star review. Thanks for being a part of Dale Carter's America.